My name is Greg Simon, and I am Assistant Professor of Composition and Jazz Studies here at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. I got a call from Hae Young, who had seen this piece, Aracameños. So we got together, and we kind of talked about where that piece comes from, and it led us to this big discussion about identity and heritage and what it means to engage with your past musically. Because I think that's something that both of us come at slightly differently, but it's also something that we're both very much preoccupied with. So it was really just kind of serendipity that all of that was happening simultaneously.
I performed the Aracameños,
which was so powerful,
which is a piece that Greg wrote. And what's really cool about this piece is that it's for solo violin. And there are not that many pieces written for just solo instruments. And I think having a piece written for solo violin is, especially knowing the history too, I think it's a very powerful statement, because the other composer to write really extensively for solo violin was Bach, actually.
The piece is a quartet of portraits of 4 different little microcosmic scenes from the Atacama Desert in Chile. The Atacama is the driest desert in the world.
Instead of having your music, I thought, what other types of music I could use, and then this unconventional sound. I mean, maybe music, not really like a violin sound or any sound that uses instrument. But so I thought maybe, human voice as an instrument. So I asked Greg if he's interested in be a part of my choreography.
And he's a writer too.
He is a writer. So I asked Greg if he wants to read some text about the desert. And he said, maybe I can write something.
I know.
So I thought, wow, that's really cool.
I've never been to the desert. I grew up near the ocean. My entire life has been water. But when I'm in a quiet room with beige walls, often I close my eyes.
But I also started designing this sonic landscape, basically, this piece of, if you want to call it, sound art. And included in that world is the text that I originally wrote as this poetry that she was going to dance along to. So that's my other contribution to this program, this sonic environment that Haewon is going to dance in.
I can see the white sand stretching for eternity. I can feel that special.
And I really love the sentence he wrote, "Desert is something we choose." I think that's something that we both came up together. So he made a beautiful piece of sound art for me.
The sun reflecting off the sand. Take the sun and build shelter.
When a performer is playing a composition, they are still the center of attention. There's a lot of movement. There's a lot of there's kinetic energy in every performance of a piece of music. But that kinetic energy is different in the context of a dance, because dance is an art form in which the movement is designed to tell its own story. And when the movement is telling its own story, I think that my job as a composer changes slightly, because I'm no longer the chief storyteller. I am, best case, a collaborative storyteller. And this is one of the conversations that continued to come up between me and Haewon, was how can I create a sonic space that has its own narrative and that has its own personality, but makes a tremendous amount of space for her to contribute something as well.